We don't have a Dairy Queen out here.
Oh, damn.
Who
I was
needs
just wanting a
Dairy
dipped
Queen?
cone.
I mean, Dairy
Did
Queen's
you
the
say
way to go.
dipped
It's better
cone
than
or
McDonald's.
dicked cone? I want a
You know, I
dicked
realized
cone.
so about a year or two ago, I had a uh, ice cream, right? So there's a lot of ways you can eat your ice cream, obviously.
Yeah.
But I had one where it was a brownie inside the ice cream, right? And it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
But
Sounds good.
but the brownie has to be right. And I know this is like a spoiled take probably, but if it's not a warm brownie, then it's just like a hard, almost like a rock, and it's really annoying to eat. And it's like it literally goes from being one of the best desserts to like, okay, this is just like one of the worst. Like I don't even want to eat because you're like trying to eat something soft with like a rock
Yeah,
every once
I
in a
guess
while.
so. So like you have to eat it fast before the brownie gets cold in the ice cream.
No, I think it's more so like they just shouldn't serve like older brownies, but they probably do. You know, like you have to
It's
hope
like a
hope
fast
that they're
food
fresh.
thing, and they just didn't really. It's like going to order
Yeah,
French fries from McDonald's. Like they're either fire or disgusting,
exactly.
depending on like
Yeah,
how fresh the batch is. Like,
yeah. So I realized that just getting like a sundae is like best bet because it's like cheapish. You know, not as much as like a Blizzard or whatever, and it's just like it's
and
good.
you know
You can
it's
eat it.
probably good. It's not gonna be bad.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess that makes sense.
I mean, that is it. You have to. It's like when you go places, there is that element of like, how exotic is the food item that I'm purchasing? Because if it's too exotic, you might have the chef might not be feeling right, and he makes it wrong. You know,
Uh huh.
and then it's like, fuck. I asked for like my burger to have some pink and the cheese to be like a certain combination of four cheeses, and I wanted avocado spread, not the chunky one. It's like you have too many like requests that they don't meet all of them, and then it's like there's no point. You just get something simpler.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I do personally believe in ordering something just like normal off the menu because that's what they're good at. Like if you're
Right.
at a nice restaurant or something, you just be like, I want
Just keep it simple.
whatever they can, like what they put there are the things they are good at making, right?
Hmm. Yeah, because me and Lisa go to Starbucks obviously quite a bit, and if you order something too exotic, there's just like so much range for like so much variance for stuff to go wrong. Where it's like, oh
Uh,
well, this one like the espresso's old, so it's like tastes like
yeah,
crap,
I
or
guess a lot of people probably have exotic orders at Starbucks.
like too much sugar, or like not enough ice, too much ice and it's watery.
Clip number 2 of Food Talk with Colby Cheeser.
Yeah,
No, I'm
exactly.
kidding.
It's like, guys, let's talk about what the
Like,
fuck's up with McDonald's.
have you ever had a brownie and ice cream? My God, either delicious or disgusting.
I will say the pricing is crazy though. Like I remember you could get a McDouble for like $1.19. Now it's like $3.20.
Yeah, dude, inflation's a bitch, especially right
Was it?
now. It's bad.
I watched one of those like soothing is like borderline ASMR videos about like a just like a guy with a video camera filming like a Japanese store owner like opening up his little mini restaurant, and
Uh,
he owns this little restaurant. He opens it up early, and then like he takes like 3 hours to like slowly prepare whatever he was making. I didn't even know what it was called, but he makes it. It looks really good, and he sells like these big platters for like $3, and they sell out. And I'm like, oh my god, $3? Like that would be like $15 here in America. But I guess street food is like maybe a little bit cheaper. But I don't know. Food trucks are super expensive here, so maybe it's just in other countries.
maybe. Sorry, I think we all just zoned out of this fucking conversation.
Yeah, what kind of food do you guys like?
I like to eat
Brown.
brown food.
Brown food.
We like brown food. Bread,
Yeah.
chocolate.
Actually, let's see.
chocolate.
What kind of food does CJ like? I don't know. CJ was kind of particular. He would like.
he likes brown food. You
he's-
just told us.
No, I feel like he's the type that would, he would go to
He
a
just-
restaurant and only want to eat the appetizers, like chips and salsa or something, and not have an entree.
As long as it's brown. Yeah, CJ. What do you eat at a restaurant?
Yeah, CJ would be the type where Ryan's mom would make everybody a bunch of sandwiches with chips, and then CJ would just take the whole bag of fucking Cool Ranch chips and then go through that.
I don't know if I agree with that, but I don't know. Maybe you know him better
man,
than
I mean, maybe you were too knee deep
I
into the
love chips.
sandwich, Will, to ever notice.
Is that what you did, CJ?
What?
Is that what you do?
Eat sandwiches?
No,
Hell
no,
yeah.
no. You don't eat the sandwiches. You only eat the giant bag of chips or something. That's what Colby said you do.
Oh, I
CJ, do you
also
have
love
like
chips.
do you have like almost like a pregnant woman's level
what
of
the
like
fuck?
Oh
of-
my
of
God.
appetite where you're like, I want peanut butter with Cool Ranch?
What are you even saying?
No.
What the fuck?
Okay.
Like, yes, this is CJ. You're right. How did you know, Colby? This is his secret. He's been hiding it from this whole time.
Colby, what do
He's
you
got some-
eat?
Some weird. I eat very normal.
Okay.
Colby eats
I eat
an
like,
entire box of donuts.
Let's see.
and-
In like a 2 week period, I eat probably go out to eat too much. I get like tacos. I'll eat burgers,
Whoa.
but at home I'll
That's
usually make like
weird.
a
That's-
loaded potato sandwiches a lot. Eggs a lot. Peanut butter and jelly.
Wow.
Very
Kind of
weird.
lazy. I need to
So
make more.
normal. So normal.
Crock pot
mean-
meals.
I thought you would eat like fish sticks and ketchup, you know?
Ketchup.
Yeah, Will, what do you think? I'm CJ?
I mean, you're the one who said CJ ate those things. Those thoughts came from somewhere, you know?
Well, CJ just has like very quirky food choices sometimes.
I mean, maybe a little bit. Yeah, but not a lot.
I mean, don't
What'd
we
you
all?
eat? What'd you eat today,
That doesn't
CJ?
seem very atypical.
I'm
I
pretty
had
normal though.
what is it? I think it's chicken tikka masala thing. It was just like a thing you
Fucking
don't
weird, bro. What?
Like just the sauce. I'm just kidding.
no.
Chicken
Well,
tikka masala.
actually, to be
so
honest,
you
Will,
had
you're
some,
pretty.
some like Indian food. Yeah, like you
Will's
ordered
pretty
it?
weird too. When I lived with him, he would just. I would just find him in his
No.
room with jelly and a spoon, and I was just like,
No.
"What the fuck
Wait,
are you
did I
doing?"
actually do that? No, I didn't do that.
Yeah, you would just eat the jelly straight out of the jar,
No,
like for like
wait,
half the jar.
wait, did I do that?
Yes.
I didn't do that. I didn't.
It's
do
like girl
that.
boss.
Wait, I
Get
might have.
gaslit.
I-
Get gaslit, Will.
I don't know. I might have done something like that. To be honest.
Will, why are you questioning that? I feel like you still do that.
Well, because
you're
it's
putting
because
jelly
it's
on
you.
fucking
It's
tortillas.
because it's
That comes
you
out of Colby's
saying.
mouth.
Yeah.
Never question anything that comes out of Colby's mouth.
If it's you
No,
telling me,
you-
I don't know if you're gaslighting me or if it's
No,
true.
but Will, you literally yesterday put jelly on a tortilla, and you're questioning that you don't have an obsession with jelly.
Well, that makes more sense than eating it out of a jar with a spoon.
Well, actually, now I'm kind of taking Colby's side on this. Wait a
But
second.
I'm just trying to think back. Like, did I feel like I might
Wait a
have done
minute.
that's the thing is I feel like I
Yes.
might have done that.
I think maybe like we were out of bread or something, so you're like, I'm just gonna eat the jelly straight out
He's
of.
like, I don't
That's so valid. That is such a
Nothing wrong
valid
with
Dude,
that.
I
thing
think
to
I
do.
think I
He's like
did.
Winnie the Pooh with his hands in the jelly jar.
No,
He's
no,
like,
no, no. I
he's
didn't want
like, "Much
sticky.
good for my tummy.
I don't like sticky fingers. Okay.
His hands are all like goopy.
I remember Will got real mad because I used some of his milk.
Oh snap!
I don't remember
It's
that,
just Will milk.
but I'm sure
How
it
was
happened.
He used some of Will's milk. And then we had
can give you
popcorn in
milk
the
straight
cupboard
from the
for way
teat.
too long. We didn't.
Oh, and
we
then
didn't-
the mice got into it.
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. And it was like on one of the higher shelves too. And we went to go pick it up, and he was just had a
Yeah.
mouse chilling in there trying to nibble through the
Yeah.
plastic to get to the butter.
There was a fucking mess. I think he got through, didn't he?
He did. Yeah, he was eating on it.
Youch. A shame. A shame. Okay, I guess I do kind of have some weird eating habits sometimes. I
And then
probably
Ryan,
did do that.
Ryan's kind of weird. He doesn't like vegetables.
No veggies. That's true.
He just like I wonder when he goes to like when he does he get like a club sandwich ever or like a BLT and just bacon? I guess.
Yeah, no lettuce, no tomato.
Galena's her sister, or I guess her sister's husband, so my brother-in-law, he also hates veggies.
What the
Won't
fuck?
eat any of them. The
So
only thing he
lame,
likes
dude.
is Caesar salad. That's his
Ah.
Oh, okay.
Caesar salad. And she like will like puree and blend veggies into like, you know, various things to like sneak them into his diet.
Like a
Oh
little kid.
no.
Yeah. So
Betrayal.
she's making spaghetti. She'll like puree or like blend, you know, like carrots and broccoli into like the meat sauce. So like you get a little bit of like
Oh,
veggie
wow.
in there.
Somebody needs to tell him. Somebody needs to tell him.
He's like
he
spits
knows.
it out.
oh,
No,
he
he
knows.
knows. He
Ah,
just, but he can't taste it. So he's like, I like it.
He's like,
I don't
"Alright."
know that it's in there.
I guess that's fine.
Nice.
It's not the premise. He's not like he wants to be unhealthy. He just doesn't like, you know, veggies. So he's like, if I can't taste it, I can't see it.
Oh,
It's good.
Well,
well.
just tell him to eat it.
Just
Tell
eat
him
it.
to fix his.
Tell him to eat it. You're not supposed
taste
to
buds.
enjoy it all the time. You're just supposed to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be enjoyable.
What about you,
It's supposed to
Nolan?
cry.
Do you eat a breakfast or do you skip breakfast?
It's like 70 skip breakfast, 30% of the time eat
Oh, okay.
breakfast.
Is it like a quick oatmeal kind of thing?
No, it's
Or
if I eat
yogurt?
breakfast, it's normally a big breakfast, like
Oh,
bacon,
really? Dang.
eggs, toast,
Damn.
pancakes.
Is it like because you have Harlow like gets up early, so you're like, I might as well make some
Yeah,
food.
she eats breakfast. She eats breakfast every day. I give her
Oh, okay.
breakfast every day, but my breakfast sometimes is just coffee, and then sometimes it's the whole shebang.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
Normally, it's only the whole shebang if like Selena and I are like making like a ton of breakfast for like
You guys
lots of
both wake
people,
up at the
or
same
if we
time.
go over to somebody else's house, like my parents'
Ah.
place, or if they come over.
Oh, cool. That's pretty nice. I think one breakfast item I've been trying to do is like I'll get the regular Greek yogurt, and then I buy oats by themselves, and then I
Yep.
try to mix
That's
them.
good. That's good.
Because I heard
Okay.
this is like what do you say, like very fringe health YouTubers, but they talked about how like you don't want to get the flavored yogurt because it like neutralizes a lot of the good stuff. You want to get like the really plain Greek yogurt, and then you put your
Oh.
own fruit into it.
And I love
Uh-huh.
tricks.
That's good.
Tricks.
Put
is good.
fruit
I was like-
granola in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fruit and granola.
I don't-
And
I'm
then
not
the
really-
Greek yogurt has like ridiculous amount of protein too, which is
Yes.
I'm
I
not
learned
really
recently.
big on the
Yogurt.
breakfast
We
food.
buy
you're not a breakfast guy, Will? You're
No.
not like a French toast
Not
kind
a
of guy.
big breakfast guy. No, I actually don't like French toast very much. I don't know why. It's like it's
Remember,
like
didn't
goopy.
Ryan try to make it for you one morning,
maybe.
and you were like, I don't really like French toast.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think they kind of have that memory.
I feel like I remember that, but I don't know. Did we get to that conclusion if I actually liked his French toast or not?
Well, he made like that's like the only thing he made. It was like a bunch of French toast, so I think you were kind of forced to eat it, and so
And I
you
probably-
came upstairs.
I probably was not impressed. I don't know.
You were like, "Fuck, this is good."
He wasn't the biggest fan of mine back then, so maybe I didn't like it, and that was. The
I mean, it's
reason
just
why.
bread with cinnamon.
And egg, and it gets
Oh,
like a
true.
goopy
You
texture.
don't like egg?
I don't like eggs. Eggs are gross, which is one.
Why
Which
do you
is
like
which
egg,
is the main
Will?
reason why I don't like breakfast, because eggs are like part of
You're a
every
carnivore.
fucking breakfast.
Why don't you like egg?
I like bacon. Eggs are like baby food, you know, because eggs are.
The
technically-
fuck?
I don't know. Well, there's
I think you just had a weird
the
first experience.
embryo in the egg that eats the egg material, and that's what.
That's the problem.
That's why
Your
egg.
parent-
That's why eggs are made of. It's like milk, but stupider.
Okay. But like, what the fuck are you eating bacon? That's like an ass cheek.
Yeah, exactly. Eating ass is what I do.
Well, I think that your either parent, when they first were feeding you egg, they made the mistake of explaining scientifically what it was.
No,
That
that's not.
grossed you out.
That's some bullshit I just said just now. That's not. I just don't like the
Oh.
taste of eggs or the texture. It
Oh.
just tastes gross and has bad texture. And that's it.
Okay.
That's the reason why I don't like egg. Okay, because it's gross.
That's strange for sure.
I don't like eggs because it makes me think of my balls. I'm
Uh,
kidding.
wait,
I'm just kidding.
How?
Valid.
You're like licking your own balls.
Well, my
back?
balls are huge and white, so.
Of course.
You're like,
Yeah.
Like our matey.
I got huge white balls, so I don't like
Wait.
eggs.
wait, Will, you're saying you can acrobatically lick your own balls and it reminded you of the taste?
My balls taste like eggs.
We actually, I'm fine with this conversation. Continue.
We got the null in approval. So I'm gonna do a quick taste test for you guys. I'll come back to you in 30 seconds. No, I'm just kidding. No, I can't do that. Thankfully, no,
God, imagine you
I'm
could.
not gonna
though.
try. To be honest,
It's like your friend, your roommate's like, "Hey, Will, did you want any pizza?" Jesus, what the fuck are you doing? Just licking your balls.
and I'm just like, what?
I
Your
mean, dogs do
your
it.
dog does it. Why are you judging me for it? Come on, man.
Well, I think the dogs, it's like mentally they just looking at it like they're in cleaning mode.
Yeah, same.
You're like, I'm
I
just
gotta
cleaning
get in.
off some
I
gunk.
gotta get in there. I got gunky balls. I gotta clean it off with my tongue. It's just how it goes.
It's like Will's cleaning himself again.
Yeah.
Will's fucking cleaning himself. All right, so we hit breakfast. Shit.
Lunch.
I feel like I do got to start making more food. I feel like it would be nice to
Yeah.
know how to make some, like a good burger. Like I need to
Maybe.
get like a grill or something.
Just an iron skillet. Iron
No.
skillet does everything. Yes.
I don't want to do a ghetto burger where it's like
Oh
a
my
fucking
God.
easy bake oven or something.
Iron skillet will do everything you need.
Okay. I mean, I have seen people do that before. I'm wondering if I should get like an actual grill though. Get the smoky flavor going.
Maybe.
Do it.
Or get like a
Grill's also
brisket. One of
rite
those little
passage for your manhood.
stoves.
If you don't own a grill, are you even a man, Colby?
I know. You got no hairy balls.
Especially in Texas. Like,
Pathetic.
how do you not
Like-
own a grill in Texas?
What,
I
you're
drive
not-
a Ram truck.
You're not
I
throwing
got a pair of
barbecues
balls.
in
Yeah,
the
he
in that
drives
backyard.
A Tesla, you know. Well,
Tesla's.
I'm like the antithesis of a Texan for sure.
I feel
Like,
like,
who
a
the fuck is this?
Tesla used to be not Texan and now kind of is Texan.
Oh, because like Elon is synonymous with Texas.
Because
Joe
of the
Rogan and all
way the Elon
the fan club
the
lives
way
here.
the fan club has adjusted
the way
over
the
time.
elongation has occurred.
Yes, the way
He's
the
had-
elongation.
Elon has had fallings out with both California and I think Delaware. So I think he's down
Yeah.
in Texas now.
I will say California does seem terrible to live in if you make any more money than like 30 grand a year because it's just taxation. But
I think
also you
it's
can't
hard
afford
to
to live
live
there.
on. Yeah, I was like, it's
Yeah, it's too
hard to live
expensive.
if you don't
Fuck
make
either
enough.
way.
You got to make money, dude. Like I know a lot of people. I don't know people personally, but I've heard like, yeah, a lot of people who struggle. They just have like several people in a house or some shit,
hmm
and it's just like,
I think it's quality of life versus taxation, because quality of life in Texas compared to some other places is like not as high.
I could see that,
But-
yeah.
But in other places where you have to pay crap load of taxes, I mean, there's a like
I will
those
say-
taxes are going to better things usually.
My neighborhood is could be better for sure. Like there's a lot to be desired. It's very much just cram as many fucking houses into a neighborhood as possible. So during
Yeah,
rush
the
hour in the
fucking-
morning,
Cookie cutter, they're doing that here
Bro.
too. Ugh.
it's so hard. Like at 7, so I got to be at work at 8, and so I usually leave at like 7:25 or 7:30, and it's just like a massive. Like I can't even get out of my driveway for like the first minute. I'm like oh, here's an opening. I can actually back up.
Because everyone's like, I'm off to work. See the kids. I'll see the kids later.
Yeah, there's probably like 200 houses in this neighborhood, and then each one of them has like 3 or 4 cars.
Yeah, our
Damn,
HOA has like sent out multiple emails where they're like, okay, people, stop parking on the street because we don't have our streets
Oh.
aren't up to code, so
Oh
they're
my God.
really thin, and people are just like, we'll just park on the street still, and I'm like tow
Jesus.
their cars, tow
Right
their
about-
cars. I'm
It
becoming
would be
old
nice to
man.
be a millionaire and just go buy like your own property in like a neighborhood where there's like nice space in between each house.
Yeah, being a millionaire would be nice. You're right.
Wouldn't it be nice, Will?
I would love to have lots of money. It would be very helpful.
Wait, Will, you should just make a lot of money and then you buy like a streamer house for us all to fall back on.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
The streamer house
Let's do it.
idea last time ever pan out with
Give me money.
Oh, well, I think Will didn't want to
Give
move
me
into
money.
Tron.
based.
Or no, he was like he wanted to stay with his brother, right?
Yeah, I don't. That was a long time ago. I feel like there were every time we have an idea, things just fall apart and it just doesn't happen.
And then CJ didn't want to do it. I think he was having his own.
It's like when we tried to start a channel. You know, it never works out really.
True.
Edge.
But Jacob was the glue.
But now we are doing a channel because I'm just going to stream our conversation.
It's like this tonight we found out 3 murderers in the Will channel. It's like we snuck into this conversation.
Dude, that would be
It's
so
like, wait,
tragic.
you're streaming?
If you guys were all murderers, holy crap.
That would be crazy.
Holy crap, we already had the whole thing with Tron. Imagine if it turns out everyone in
God.
this Discord was evil in some way or another.
But what if it was justified?
Murder? Justified murder?
Yeah.
Colby.
It's a-
That's not very Batman-like of you, okay?
I know. I had to kill him.
You never have to murder. Never.
Murder is not an option.
Murder is not good. Never the answer. Never. Never, ever.
Oh, I had this thought.
Sounds like
today
I'm
when I was
sarcastic
driving.
when I say that. I don't even know how much I believe that. I've never thought about it that hard.
What? Murder?
I'm going to say, I don't know. Sorry,
Okay.
go get back to
All
your
right,
story.
So I had this thought where I was thinking about, how there's like multiple dimension theory of like, oh, there's infinite dimensions. So
Multiple parallel
there's
realities?
like
or...
yeah, like there's a dimension where you did blank or you did something else.
Yeah.
But I had a thought of like something that's along those lines, but maybe I want to say like in the realm of a little bit more realistic that could happen in the future, but still like incredibly low a percentage of chance, which was, so when you like, let's say like as a human you die and like consciousness is still kind of like a mystery, like of what goes on in the brain to where kind of forms this presence in your brain that you have this identity and everything kind of works together. But I was like, what if though there's like a million years later, like there's a collection of atoms that are in the exact same formation as your consciousness in that brain, and then you like poof back for like a brief second just because it was like a collection of atoms in your brain that are all doing a specific task, because they're all just information from DNA.
So wait, you're saying like you come back a million years later? Or
Yeah, but like I'm trying to pinpoint, what is consciousness in the brain? Like which atoms are igniting that?
have you not
then-
watched my human soul video?
Oh my God,
called-
Will.
Oh, I made a whole bit. Sorry, you're right.
No, I don't think this is the same thing. I'm just talking about like, if there's, it's like that thing they say where there's like a minute chance that you could randomly combust, like your cells could just explode. But
Yeah,
it's like
quantum physics kind of stuff, or
yeah, but it's like, what if there's a chance that you're dead for like years, but then your identity structure can come back? But that just seems, it's weird. Like I'm kind of thinking about it as I'm saying it, because it's like, well, where's your memory stored? Well, the memories are stored in your brain somewhere, so that would also have to have, like, that would also, all those atoms that form your memory would also have to be there.
so. So this can
Well,
get
I've heard
quite-
that.
Hmm.
I've heard salvia does something fucked up to your brain where you like think that you're a chair for like 30 years. You know?
Interesting.
So like maybe look into that and how that brain chemistry works.
Yeah.
Oh wait, the answer.
Or like, imagine you could awaken memories from
Ooh.
someone who was alive like 1,000 years ago, and being alive today, all of a sudden you just open kind of a gateway for a second. You're just like, wait a minute, I just learned how to, pilot this boat or captain this boat from this guy that died on a ship years ago. The fuck? Where did that come from?
Yeah. I don't know. Does that happen to people? I don't know if it does.
No, I don't think it does. But like, it's like the quantum chance of things.
Uh-huh. Have you heard of the theory of quantum immortality?
No.
So, I guess you probably haven't watched that video, so I'll have to do a little bit of
I didn't watch the
explaining
video,
here.
Will.
But, so in my video, I talk about my theory of the human consciousness being a complex piece of matter that expands into higher dimension. That's my theory.
Okay.
And there's a lot of substantial thoughts about parallel realities existing, and in my video I kind of talk about this where the thought is that if your mind expands into higher dimension, if I was right about that, which who knows, maybe, then it would be reasonable that your mind would connect to alternate realities potentially, and maybe that's what sentience is. And then the theory of quantum immortality is which is I'm not the only one who's had this quantum immortality theory, which is kind of funny. It's popped up a bunch after I made this video, which I don't talk about quantum immortality, whatever. It's the idea that if your mind, because when you make a decision, right? Like the multiple realities, like you make a decision, like there's two choices you can make, and you make a decision. That's a branching reality where there's
Right,
one
it's like
where
a
you make one
divergent path is
decision,
created.
one where you make the other decision, right? And the idea of quantum immortality is that your mind can only exist in a version of reality where you aren't dead. So you will always make the decision that keeps you alive, kind of thing. So
Interesting.
so
Okay.
there's you could say in a different reality where somebody else is dead, like our world, like somebody we know is dead, like they might be alive in a different reality where they made a different choice and they aren't dead. Like you're driving down a road
Interesting.
and there's an accident in front of you and you can either go left to avoid it or right to avoid it. It's a split second, you don't know what's going to happen. If you go left, you die, right? But you don't know that. And if you go right, you live. And the idea is both of those things happen, right? In the branching realities. Both of those things happen. But your consciousness can't exist in the one where you're dead, right? So your
Okay.
consciousness is only in the route where you're still alive. So you go right every time, and you keep making the right choice to stay alive until you die of old age. But in
Interesting.
parallel realities, it might be like your friend dies in an accident, but maybe in in the branching realities, his consciousness is in a different parallel universe.
I mean, that does sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
If that could be a reality. So I've watched a lot of stuff on Ram Dass talking about his spiritual experience on LSD. And he would talk about it though as your journey on a spiritual path is to disassociate with your identity as much as possible, or your human form, and then you associate with that present moment consciousness, which is not the ego or whatnot. But that's a very hard for people to do because you're essentially trying, in a way, you're having a ego death, right?
It
You're
was
just
like
trying
Jim
to be
Carrey. Remember when he went on that rant at the? I don't remember where he was. Do you remember that?
oh,
He,
a talk show.
No. He's at a celebration. It was not the VMAs, but it was some the Grammys, or I know it's not for music, but he was at some celebrating famous rich people.
Yeah, some celebration.
And they were interviewing him, and he just was like, "I'm not real. You're not real." He's like, "None of us are real. We're our consciousness. That's what's real." And he just
Right.
and then the interviewer was like, what do I do?"
Yeah,
You
he's
ever
getting a
seen that
little
interview?
freaked out. I think I've probably seen something like that.
He's just
He did go through a phase where
"Okay."
he was just like that in every interview.
Yeah, he's got really existential.
Yeah, I mean,
It
it
was
makes
at,
sense. I mean, if
was that?
your identity is tied to yourself, your image, your urges. That's all going to be within the physical body, and so that's going to die. So then you have to associate with the energy that's in your consciousness, like the little light there. I mean, they said too, like there's references to like when they were on LSD, it was like taking off like a really really tight shoe. That was like the like metaphor they used. It was like they kind of just opened up a little bit, and obviously they, in our terminology, they kind of tweaked out, but to them it's like they expanded and they kind of learned more without being able to like describe it. But yeah, I mean that stuff is interesting. I mean it's like kind of freaky too when you go down to the rabbit hole learning about like ego death, and it's like shit, I gotta like, in a way you have to eventually come to the terms that maybe you and all of your memories and stuff will not pass on, and that's just kind of how it is.
Wait, well, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, in theory, oh shit, hold on. In theory, the oops, like these. So, is everything predetermined? Like you said the branching paths, right? Where consciousness exists in essentially that one scenario or timeline, we'll put in quotes, where it is able to persist. My question is that universe, if we're talking about parallel universes, or not parallel but the multi-universe theory, is that universe already predetermined to contain that consciousness, or does it reach through? Because my question would be like,
That's
does
a good
it
question.
I would assume that yes, because everything's predetermined, but that the factor of time would be warped. I don't actually know how that would work, because I'm gonna change my mind. I don't think that it would be predetermined, but
Well, the idea with
it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because it would have to be something that would be able to like
path exists, right? Well, like if your consciousness is connected to other
simultaneously,
realities, then
they exist simultaneously. So
yeah,
that's kind of where I'm lost. And this is all like hypothetical, based on Stephen Hawking's
that's a good
work.
question.
But like, if it's true according to Stephen Hawking, or what Stephen Hawking proposed is true, then, and what some others had worked on, then in theory they would all exist at the same time, and your consciousness would only be able to be in one place. But he never talked about consciousness, because
I think
there
your
was no
consciousness can be in multiple places.
well, there was no theoretic, but
also,
I mean, that's the problem, is there's no science behind that.
We might have to take a quick pause, because somebody just came into my chat, and Colby,
Nice.
this one's a doozy. It's Brett. Do you remember Brett? You probably don't remember Brett.
Oh shit!
My first viewer on Twitch.
No way!
Oh my god!
We have,
I was one of your
we have
first
gone through
viewers.
many lifetimes.
Brett, 10+ years ago. Sorry, I want to keep talking about this, but this is.
Damn.
I had
good.
to pause because Brett's here. Oh my god, Barb DeWire. Huh. Well, who's Barb? No, I'm just kidding. 26 years old. Wow.
Damn, Brett was like 12 when we last knew him.
Or maybe he might be on LSD or LCD. What?
LCD. Yeah, he's on one of those.
He's on something. What up? That's a trip, dude. I had to pause the conversation there, because that's you don't know Brett Nolan, but he was my first viewer,
Damn, this is a callback. This is like Brett went on a journey, and it's been multiple years.
Yeah, right. Literally,
we thought he died, and now he shows up in a small
he's
town.
Back. He's back. Welcome back, Brett. We were just talking about some shit. So,
You're talking about what you eat for breakfast.
So yeah, no. What were you saying, Nolan? Because I don't. So
I was just saying that the multi-universe theory. I forget exactly what it's called. I think it's called and not the multiverse theory, but essentially the
He's
theory,
had
right,
ego
that there
death.
are because of the inability to accurately predict, like, you know, both the location and the
Yeah.
speed of particles within atoms, that there are an infinite number of universes.
Mhm.
Roughly, I know it's not a great explanation, but
Yeah.
my problem with that is that's all based on some sort of science, and the fact that you're talking about, you know, positioning and speed of certain particles to be able to determine outcomes
Mhm.
like that are manifested in the real world. It's hard. I feel like it's hard to then turn that into like consciousness and say, okay, we also have a lot of scientific data to be able to prove what consciousness does, because it's not really something that is like easily like represented through science and numbers, right? Like you don't just say, oh yes, I can calculate the consciousness of this specific being by doing
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. You can't. So I feel like
No.
it's kind of hard to tie those together. And how do you even define consciousness? Because it
Yeah.
it could just be the chemical, like it more than likely is just the chemical firing of, you know, certain neurons operating in such a way that give consciousness, right? It could just be that simple. It could be a lot more complex, and I think that's the hard part. But there are people obviously who
Well, it is,
their whole work probably is on consciousness. So.
yeah, it is incredibly complex. So yeah, I guess that's a big part of it, is understanding how it works, and nobody truly does. Maybe I'm sure there are people who've put a lot of thought into it, but it feels like I haven't seen a lot of research about how it specifically works. I've done a lot of thinking about it and theorizing, and I don't know. I just think of I go into this in more depth in my video, but I think of it as like a brain is like a computer, and there's like a bunch of switches and triggers in your brain, like a computer kind of, that according to various inputs and things, and they often interact with each other.
Right.
Like, and my theory is that there are some times when humans are irrational or random or whatever, and it feels like what happens is you have an extraordinarily complex set of triggers that sort of manifest in unpredictable ways, and it reaches a complexity that approaches what was the term, chaos, which is a term used in astronomy, with like to describe like the three body problem, for example, where you just can't predict the outcome of the movement of three significantly sized bodies in space, like suns or whatever. And I think at a certain point that the complexity, like visually, the complexity of the brain is like, and they say intelligence comes in the wrinkles, right? And I would think of it like, here's a good way to talk about why I think it's for like higher dimensional matter that our brain operates in. So if you say you're in a two-dimensional world, and you have a stick figure in the two-dimensional world, right? It's a two-dimensional world. I don't know how he sees. Everything's lines. It's weird, whatever. But you have a stick figure in a two-dimensional world. Technically, the stick figure is still graphite on paper. You know what I mean? Like, there's still a little bit of dimension in that space. And, you know, if the stick figure is really going to move, the stick figure is going to need like a little microchip on his head or something in order to actually have noticeable function in his little world to move his body. He might not realize he's got a microchip in his head because he doesn't perceive it, but he probably has to, and for realistically, for a two-dimensional figure to have function. And that's how I think of it in our third-dimensional world, is we perceive, we live three-dimensional, but it's we're ultimately still graphite on paper. You know, like the dimension expands. There's a lot going on in the universe, and and all of our being, including our brains, are graphite on paper in this reality, and that's how I think of it, and that's why I think it makes sense that there would be some higher dimension to brain, you know, to like to manage a complexity that is something like sentience, and theoretically, if there are parallel branching realities, then that would expand in dimension. And if your brain's expanding up into different layers of reality, then perhaps those different layers are different alternate realities. Though layers is a weird term to use once you get too into it, because you know, higher dimension is obviously a complex space that we can't really comprehend or is difficult to discuss. So layers might not be the best way to describe it. But like, if your brain takes up more dimensional space than the reality that you interact with for the most part, then it would be reasonable to assume that it's connecting to other things out there in higher dimensional space. So like other branching realities. So it might not be that you only have one consciousness, you know, even in all these realities. It might be more that your consciousness is a little more fluid, and there might be different versions of your consciousness and where they connect with each other, or maybe our consciousness takes up a significantly bigger amount of fourth dimensional space than we realize. You know, maybe it's huge, and like we're connected to multiple realities, and that's why you have deja vu, because you're just like there's multiple things going on that you're not even realizing. You know, like possibilities. Sorry, I just kept talking. Brett put it good. Minecraft to quantum existential brain mechanics.
I mean, I kind of think of the way I think of. I don't think consciousness is like one thing. I think it's a culmination of qualitative assessment. That's what I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
So you are able to, like, your consciousness is the ability to combine, you know, a plethora of different senses, etc. So like your consciousness is made up of like your ability to smell, taste, read, feel, right? All these different things that like create your ability to like feel and develop emotions based on that.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I think consciousness is. So I don't know that it's something that like would necessarily permeate, you know, in this multi-universal theory. I think that they would be individualized between the two, because your consciousness is also made up of like external stimuli, in my opinion.
I mean, I'm not saying that's not true.
No. I'm saying, but I think one consciousness would be different from another. If I were to be like in this one and then in a different universe,
yeah,
right, they would be completely different.
It's not going to take up infinite space, so yeah, there would be different consciousnesses. I think that makes sense. And yeah, I mean, it's triggers and like complexity that's built up off of the world we interact with, you know, and things you learn in the world you interact with and perceive and feel and experience, and things that you're taught. And like
that's what's cool.
Everything coming together, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't have to exist. That's the thing that I think is weird, is like consciousness isn't something that it doesn't need to exist, right? You know, like a computer can take in like the color blue and like a smell or like a visualization or something and be able to process it in a rudimentary way, but that doesn't mean that consciousness all of a sudden is, you know, present there, right? Consciousness is the ability to
yeah, that's
like how do you process that information, and that's why it's different from person to person, because I perceive the color blue probably different than the way you do, or I
potentially
have an opinion on something else different in a different way that you do. So that's kind of why I think it's cool, is that it doesn't have to exist, but it does.
Well, there are a lot of discussion about whether or not
it
it actually does exist. There's many people who say it doesn't, you know.
Well, yeah.
Like I've seen people talk about how they did studies on like judges and like how they make their decisions, and And I think there was something that was like the biggest factor. I don't remember. I don't know. I can't find the study, so I don't know if it's real. But the biggest factor is how hungry the judge is, how long it is since they've had food, if they're going to give you a forgiving verdict or not. You know, that was like the most defining factor, right? So it's like there's a lot of people who are like, well, consciousness isn't even real. Like you think it is, but it's not. You know.
I don't know how they're defining consciousness, because if we're defining consciousness by like the ability to feel or respond to information or be in like a certain state at a certain time, then it does exist. But maybe they're saying that the way that it's interpreted
Or
is
maybe
different
more
because
like sentience or whatever is a little more specific. Consciousness,
Oh.
because then you know if you're just responding to input,
Yeah.
then AI is conscious. Well,
There's there's that concept in Robert Anton Wilson's book of reality tunnels. Essentially, everyone builds up their own reality tunnel based off of the impressions made by their parents and society throughout time, and then obviously genetic.
we've
So
evolved,
you have genetic
Brett.
luck,
We've evolved.
and so then
I
you
just realized I can
perceive
mute my
life a lot
microphone.
differently. You have your own
so I can
paradigm of
talk.
what you think right and wrong is, and what a strong person is. And so that's why they say it's actually pretty amazing how well humans can interact with each other when everyone has drastically different reality tunnels and everyone's looking at reality in different ways. It's like there's the subjective reality, and then there's the actual reality. And oh man, there's some crazy like one-liner about that where it's like, is the universe that we think is not real because we're thinking about it as a model that we've created in our heads and not actually what it is?
Mm-hmm. Huh. Yeah.
Because like we've kind of broken it down to how we could understand it in our brain, and so everybody thinks about it differently. You know, everyone has a different scale of what they think their universe is and how big it is and all that.
Well,
yeah, just pretty interesting stuff.
I had an interesting thought about how the parallel dimensions or whatever is maybe less separated than we think, and maybe it's more of a soup, you know, and like realities, different possible realities connect more than we think they do, and everything just kind of works out in a way that makes sense. Like why people
Like
just
karma.
like collective delusion, you know, like when everyone's got the wrong idea about something, you know. Like I had a crazy theory about how, like, you know, the Berenstein Bears conundrum, where everyone's like,
Haven't heard of that one.
everyone's like the Baron. Do you remember the Berenstein Bears? Right.
No, I didn't. I'm gonna look it up.
You don't.
Berenstein.
Well, the thing is that everyone remembers them being pronounced as the Berenstein Bears, but it's actually pronounced the Berenstain Bears.
Oh,
But everyone has it wrong for some reason. And my thought is that maybe, just maybe, we all had a collective consciousness shift because the world ended and everyone died, and we shifted to a reality where everyone's alive. That's slightly different.
interesting.
Now, which is just a crazy theory, but
Interesting.
wait, Brett's got a thought. I think consciousness is fundamentally connected to how complex our system of memory is. Yeah, which is similar to what I was saying. LLMs. What is
Oh
that?
God,
What is that?
that's a large language models like AI.
Oh, okay. Aren't conscious because they can't form any form of world model. Huh. Or maybe they are, but we just don't realize it. No, I don't know.
I mean, you also have to remember. I mean, the fucking brain is it's like evolution. You know,
Yeah.
it's like a product of millions of years.
Yeah, it is.
So-
It's true.
I mean, there's that theory that the universe creates humans to look at itself.
Hmm.
I mean, because in a way too, we are just a bunch of atoms that got spit out, and now we just formed into a creature.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that makes sense. I feel like that's one reason why I'm like, well, consciousness defies logic, and or sentience defies logic in a lot of ways sometimes, and I feel like it moves beyond what we
Right.
deal with, you know, and in order to get that human ingenuity and creativity and unpredictability, it's like you need to be. It's like that's another thing is the Willow chip or whatever. Remember from Google that they made
Yeah.
quantum computer, and it did some calculation. I don't know the details, but it did some calculation where it didn't make sense for it to do the calculation that it was able to do. I think it was like
Oh,
some
really?
idea that it was borrowing. Maybe CJ would know more about this. It was borrowing like data from alternate realities or something, or that's some crazy theory. Right.
Interesting.
And so that's one reason with my consciousness is maybe it's like we are actively like that's where sentience comes from is we're almost borrowing data from alternate realities with our brains.
Yeah.
You know? And getting more possibilities. So it's like when you're in a crisis situation, you make the right decision because your brain's kind of like knows what's going to happen in a way. Right?
Yeah.
It's got a sense for it. It's like, okay, I can see like different ways things can go and where I'm going to exist or where
Yeah.
I'm not going to exist. And
I mean, one more pessimistic way to look at it is consciousness is just kind of a byproduct of evolution pushing us as creatures to be able to understand our environment more and more to the point where
That's
now
what I was gonna say.
like we just have this byproduct of amazing awareness, even though like the first iterations of Homo sapiens is, we only had like, you could say lower level circuits of the brain to like focus on territorial dominance and staying alive. And then eventually and then we also had, the sexual drive and like how we place our hierarchy of like who is the most sexually dominant and who gets to spread their seed or whatever. And we have to fight each other for that. And then you have like religion, and then it gets to like higher levels of like connection between each other. And maybe that just adapted due to us as creatures learning to like live together and having to survive the elements over millions of years.
well,
And then now we just sit here and we're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? I can
well,
see so much.
At a certain point, human evolution was almost started to become more defined by our interactions with each other than nature and the environment, like with wars and like
Yeah,
and
good
like
point. Yeah.
conflict and stuff. Like humans.
But we are still our environment.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm just saying like that increases the complexity of the environment that we have to deal with. You know.
This is like sending us off into like a different direction too, which I find interesting, which is a lot of like what makes a lot of special moments in human history were based off of like mythologies that were in place back when we were like in smaller clans,
Yeah.
where you had like this endless horizon out there, like of mystery on the horizon and differences in culture. Like, you have, you go to a new land, there's like totally new people, and now everybody is connected. So it's like you have all of these people that are basically the same, and there's no endless horizon. Like you can go to the other side of the earth in one day.
Yeah.
So it breaks up a lot of the mythologies that we had in place.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's why I say religion is outdated. You know, it's not necessary.
Yeah, in some ways it is. Problem is too, though, is like our
Brett remembers
a lot of,
what
like-
I was talking about with the quantum Willow chip.
Oh, okay.
Said it was some borrowing compute power from alternative dimensions that had the same quantum computer. Is
Interesting.
yeah, I know, right? So maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe our brain is getting some deja vu computations from other realities. Whatever. Yeah, no, religion, dumb. Religion, stupid.
I mean, the thing
I
about
don't-
religion, though, is like there is something in us that connects to like these core beliefs that religion does push, like being an honorable person and
yeah, being
you
part
know,
of a
watching out for
community.
each other. Like there's something there, that like it pulls you a little bit. Like you want to live that way.
Yeah,
And I think that you could say that is a product of religion being set up through, a long period of
Yeah.
time. So it's like built into us.
it's
So-
old, consistent human institutions that.
And it's like there's like a romance in it though. Like you want to like work together and and you live by like a code,
Yeah.
you know. So I would say like unfortunately, there's going to be good in it because that's what the human race was built on. But there could also be a way forward where we don't need it. It's just going to be really difficult.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of power in delusion, which sounds like a pessimistic way to look at it, but like there's power in the ability to be like, there's a higher purpose. You know, there's more going on. There's a good afterlife. Like things are good. Like God's got a plan for me. Like there's a power in just having that confidence in your life. You know, even if it's fake and it's not real, or you just are crazy for believing in it. Just having that ability to feel that way is powerful in its own right.
Yeah, exactly. Like I wanted to touch on that because there's like I don't know what you call it, or like maybe not oxymoron or something, but it's like if you believe that you're confident and then you invoke confidence within yourself, then someone would say, oh, you just deluded yourself. But it's like, well, no, I actually was able to summon something within me by doing that though. And so there is like some truth in it, even though there is delusion. You know, like if it makes you a good person throughout your whole life to live by some code in Christianity, then there is good in that religion, even if you can't prove that God, you know, had had Jesus sent down.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's the strength of religion, but I feel like the cost of that is all the war and discrimination and conflict that has risen out of religion.
Yeah.
And
which is really sad because I feel like in religion, like the people who are at like the core of it, and I'm making a big assumption here, but the people who are at the core of it, they're very like peaceful and they want everyone to just love each other. It's like these people on the fringe. I mean, like the thing we were talking about, Will,
what's
like the fringe, like there's people I think in the middle of a lot of these religions that really interpret their scripture in like a pure way to like they want to love each other, and there's people on the fringe that just interpret it in their own way, for like maybe a self-serving way, and they like you know,
and they use it to take advantage of other people.
Right, and then maybe you could even have you know, let's say someone like Jesus, right? Like he wrote the scripture. I don't think he did, but like let's say there's like the school of thought that came from Jesus, and then people want to follow that, but then someone's like, you know, he has that bad human element to him where he's like greedy and he wants the fame, so he like redoes it, you know, and then people want to follow his version of it now, and then it's like more combative.
Yes, and therein lies the issue. You found it.
The weakness of humans.
The weakness of the humans and their religion.
Wait, no, what do they say? Pride? Pride is the worst of all the deadly sins.
Pride and the desire for power, greed. Pride. Yes. Well, Well, I mean, like, I don't know what Jesus was like because that was a long time ago, and all the accounts are probably very biased about him, so it's hard to say. But my parents, like, they believed Jesus was a good guy, at least. And it seems like he probably was just a good guy, you know? But people don't. People wrote about it in the ways, in like, the books of the Bible were like propaganda. They were, like, written to inspire or to get people to do things and, like, change things. Right? That's what the books, and they weren't written by Jesus. They were written about Jesus. Jesus, generally, it seemed like his teachings were about just being a good person. Just be a good person as best as you can. Is like anti-rich and wealth and anti-conflict and like it was all this just like real woo-woo nice, like everyone's gonna get along stuff. And like Christianity is the most violent religion that's ever existed. You know?
Yeah, but I think a lot of that was just because people, you know, they turned it combatively, right? Like the Catholic Church was like, I think there was the story of like the Crusades. It started with the Pope saying, "Oh, we need to get rid of essentially the Muslims," and then they like talked all these people into fucking doing that. Like, oh, if you don't go, then we have to take your land. And so then a lot of people just went just to keep their land and shit.
Yeah,
it's terrible though. I mean, fuck.
Yeah, that's why delusion is a powerful crutch, you know, because like if you use delusion for your strength and wisdom, then people can take advantage of that delusion to get you to do things that are bad.
Well, and
you know,
one really interesting point I learned too about Jesus during that time period was this is like during the twilight of the Roman Empire, and it was people were really bored. You know, there's not a lot to do, and I guess there was a lot of like fake messiahs walking around. Like everyone was like, just imagine you're like walking through town and some guy's sitting there on a fucking soapbox, just like, let me tell you about what I saw in my dream.
and how did Jesus become the victor in that time?
I mean, maybe it's like hard to say. Like
He was
I
the
know
most
he was
charismatic, the most convincing, the most
Probably,
follow,
actually.
the
Haven't
the
you
most
watched
friends.
The Life of Brian? That's the perfect
think
explanation
I
of how
have.
it all went down.
Yeah, I know he was very disruptive
I don't think I have.
to the Jews, and they were getting annoyed by him.
They were
I know- 'cause I remember-
shut the hell up.
Yeah, I remember he was being annoying. Like he was going inside churches and he was like smacking their little coin collection stuff away, because he was like, you shouldn't have to pay to come in here and pray.
Wait, I'm on my wrong,
And,
the wrong account. Oh, that's why my chat's being weird. Because I switched accounts.
Um,
I'm gonna go to bed, guys, but
Oh,
have
yeah,
a good
All right.
conversation.
The answer.
Have a good one, Nolan.
Call out here pretty soon. Wait, before we end this, Brett says, the real question is when are Festive Hands and Colby Cheese are going to start Pixelmon on season 2?
We're back.
We're back.
Like we have neck beards. We're overweight. We're back.
Brett says Life of Brian is a good movie, but Nolan left. Yeah. I haven't seen it.
It is a good movie.
It is a good movie.
Oh, I have to see that too. Yeah.
It looks like it's a Monty Python movie about Jesus.
Yeah, like a satire.
Monty Python's pretty good. We like Monty Python. Huh.
Life of Bryn.
Life of Brian.
So what do you think, Loco? Are you about to give your life to Christ?
Yeah.
Yeah. We love
Start going to
Jesus.
church every Sunday, all that.
So have you decided that this guy is the one?
No.
No? You're not sure?
Still haven't
Let's
decided.
release the 2.
She's got the roster going. No. Well, this has been a 4-hour and 20-minute stream, but it was worth it because we talked about fun stuff and Brett showed up,
That was huge.
Which is huge, you know. It's huge. That's
End of
huge.
the day, you see Brett.
W. Brett.
W.
I know.
Brett.
Shout out.
Shout out Brett. I'm planning to stream here more often because I got to do something, you know.
Right.
So that's
Will's back, guys.
So that's what I'm gonna do.